After 35 years and 17 full-length albums, not including a slew of EPs and compilation appearances, if you have not heard of Germany's Running Wild, you have missed out on some truly great heavy metal music. I've been a fan of these guys since I was a teenager, and it is a discography that I have liked a lot, but owned very little of, which is ridiculous. I've had Gates of Purgatory, which is the band's debut, came out in '84. Probably, at the time, my favorite record from this band. And honestly, it's a very different band than what they ended up becoming. Gates of Purgatory was just a very strange heavy metal record with occult leanings and a charm about it that was accentuated by very poor English. But after Branded and Exiled, which was a departure from Gates of Purgatory, their second album, Branded and Exiled was the second album, the band adopted more of a pirate swashbuckling persona, which to me was more so in appearance than it was in musical style. For they maintained a very solid heavy metal backbone throughout their entire career, with the main man behind this band that has been on every album for 35 years. Well, his name is Rockin' Rolf. And there he is right there. And this guy is an absolute riff merchant. You heard it here first, a riff merchant. He is the Tony Iommi of German heavy metal. And I recently acquired a copy of probably my favorite Running Wild album, Death or Glory. This is a Noise BMG reissue that just came out last year, I want to say, with a whole bunch of other stuff. But Death or Glory, you know, to me, I don't know what pirate metal really is, other than it might have, you know, it might adopt some folky elements, but Running Wild is really not that. They are just a straight up heavy metal band that really sounds like no one else that I've heard. Superior guitar sound, riffs that just go on for days, and super catchy. And this album is filled with riffs and songs, well written songs. Verse, chorus, you know, there's a German spirit to the songwriting, but Running Wild never really fell into the power metal aesthetic or thrash, or they're just their own band. And there's a reason why they were so big back in the early Noise days, because I don't know if you can hear these choruses, but they're fantastic. And you know, this album came out in '89, the year I graduated from high school, which anyway, you know, this music just takes me back. This, the sound, the production, the way it's delivered. And I had a copy of this on my computer forever, and I finally decided that I need to rectify the problem, the gigantic holes in my Running Wild collection. So thanks to Noise's reissues, I am going to start buying up all the stuff. And to be honest, the couple albums that came out before this, Under Jolly Roger and I want to say is Port Royal, you know, they're good albums. They're good metal records, but they're not, there's like the stars and planets align for Death and Glory, and the songs are just superior written, and they sound like no one else from their country, which is amazing, because you know, during this era, you know, Helloween, you know, bands like Helloween, Scanner, you know, they were like digging into this power metal style, and that went more along the path of Queen and a more operatic vocals. This is just working man's heavy metal. Well written. You could tell they've been sharpening their swords, so to speak, and honing their craft, the songwriting craft. And you know, I've heard albums that come after this, and they're all good. Like I said, Rockin' Rolf, he is a riff master. But getting back to this album, Death or Glory, Riding the Storm, which is what's playing now, fucking amazing. Renegade, Bad to the Bone. There's an instrumental on here. Highland Glory, I think, is this. Marooned. Not a bad song on this album. Super catchy choruses. And this edition, it's a 2 CD edition. And comes with a 16-page booklet, full color photos and new sleeve notes. And there's a second disc, which I've only listened to once because the first disc is so good. It's got a lot of songs that are on here and reworked versions that came out in 2003. So I don't know if it's like an EP they tagged on here or not, but you know, either way, if you are looking for excellent heavy metal, definitely check out. You can get this for relatively cheap on eBay, and just fall into the magic that is this album. The riffs are so good. The songs are so good. I promise you, if you like heavy metal, if you don't need everything to be a blast beat or screaming about devils and shit, this is definitely going to put you in a good mood. And yeah, thanks for checking this out, and I hope you guys take a minute to investigate this band a little closer, and I will see you in the next video.